The armies of the Emperor have arrived at the gates of Rome. We're here with another 1212 AD battle for you today, as the Holy Roman Emperor has got sick of the Pope and his holy ways and has decided to install his own Pope. But first, he must take the walls of Rome and then the Vatican City itself. What's up, guys? We're here with another 1212 AD siege for you today, and this is a 2v2 as the HRE and the Swiss take on the Kingdom of I was about to say the Kingdom of Switzerland, the Kingdom of Sicily. We've already got the Swiss here, and they're certainly not a kingdom. But yeah, so we have two Sicily armies here defending on behalf of the Pope. The Pope does not have any of his own armies available, so he sent for his fellow Italians, the Sicilians, to come and defend him, and they have sent their finest troops they can. They've actually got Aragonese swordsmen here, so we've got Spanish troops really defending the Holy City here. But we do have the HRE on this side already landing on the walls with their shock infantry as well. They've sent up dismounted Imperial Ritter here, so some pretty solid infantry, some good shock to take these walls. I think this is Aragonese infantry up here, yeah, Aragonese swords challenging up here, and we've also got some spears as well, some light spears. But yeah, so they've got the Aragonese already preparing to defend and die here. The Swiss taking a little bit longer to arrive. They were trying to burn this Bastion cannon down. I don't think they realised that cannon's not made of wood. It's actually metal, so it doesn't burn. We're now going to see some swords here land on the walls. They'll just take up the cannon anyway. Save yourself some ammo. They're not exactly defending the walls over here of the Sicilian player, so and they're going to be able to just march in. They'll be able to take this first sort of area fairly easily. There is some cav units around, some Equatores on this side here, some medium shock cav. They might cause a bit of issue, but unless the Swiss capture a gate, if they do that, then they'll make it much, much easier to just rush their own cavalry in and try and cause some havoc. They have already got some solid positions set up over here, some spear walls being formed up on these bridges, and I'm sure these bridges will become nasty choke points for the Swiss to try and traverse and negotiate. But yes, this is a 12-12 replay sent in by one of my fellow subs. He says it's a pretty close one, and it's on Rome. It's on the Rome map, which is a really cool map, to be fair. So I'm always willing to show this off, show the siege off, and I'm always looking for more 12-12 AD battles anyway. So yeah, if you've got some and you haven't already sent them in, feel free to send them into my Discord. The link is down below in the description, and you can get your 15 minutes of fame as when I show off some 12-12 videos, because you guys seem to really enjoy them. You guys really seem to enjoy the last 12-12 siege I did, which is like the siege of Sizitgar, or however you pronounce it. I've already forgotten how you pronounce it. The one with all the Croatians in it, which I do apologize if I butchered the name. That was a really close one as well. But yeah, we've got lots of pole arms and stuff at the back here, and we've got this Roman Emperor here, which is the long gone by these Roman Emperors now, but Rome still tries to believe it's the center of the world. Actually, there's a lot of pole arms back here. My gosh, and shock infantry as well. Like, and look at that as well. We've got gold chevroned shock infantry. That is nasty. And pikes as well. He's going to be tough to take. There you go. The wall's been breached, so it seems as though the Swiss didn't want to take the gate. They just wanted to blow it up. And they've got some tier 1 cav inside, some heavy shock cav. So yeah, there's definitely varying eras here today. I've seen tier 3, I've seen tier 2, and I've seen tier 1 as well. So yeah, they brought every period here in this siege battle. I don't think there was really a set era as such. So just for those that care about the historical accuracy, I think most stuff is tier 3, but there are definitely a few tier 2 and 3s, sorry, tier 1s and 2s littered about. The Aragonese down here though, they're fighting on hard. Artillery coming in. I don't know who's firing that. Who's firing artillery? Certainly not the HRE, it seems, because there's shock infantry on the wall losing here. Imperial Ritter now losing decisively. Yeah, I don't know who it is. It's, I guess, I'm not sure who is firing artillery actually. I'll probably see it in a minute, unless it's like the wall artillery or something like that. But I can't see any. Unless I'm blind. But the HRE definitely doesn't have any. But there you go. Another tower has been crumpled. Captured that, I presume. Yeah, I think the only artillery on this. Oh no, there's just wall artillery over there. Yeah, I think the only artillery is the Swiss one. So I'm not really sure what that was. But anyway, There's only like, oh, I don't know actually. Wall 4 damage there, 13. So that would make sense that there is something that's doing damage, but I'm not sure what it is. The Aragonese are starting to lose down here. If the HRE can get archers up onto the wall, like they can put archers up on this wall now. They kind of control it a fair amount. And they've been pouring troops up. And then you can just start firing into this choke point and trying to do some damage. So that's exactly what these Ballistari are doing over here. They're just firing into this choke point and trying to damage and hurt these sergeants here. But I can still hear like shots dropping. Oh, it is in fact. No, the HRE have got an artillery all the way on the far side over here, a culverin, and they're trying to use that to then try and blow a hole. That seems really impractical, to be honest. Have they been destroying towers? I think they have been. Destroy this tower here. Oh yeah, a bunch of dead HRE troops there. Yeah, so I think they've been trying to destroy walls from, I don't know, from here. It's just not been effective. Don't need to necessarily do it. Just fight for this choke point here. It's a bit of a dodgy spot though to assault. In fairness, there's better spots in Rome that you could attack. In particular, where the Swiss came through. This choke point over here will certainly get you, yeah, just get you like in a little corner. Oh, okay, they actually, are they going for the fort? I think they've been going for the fort towers, haven't they? Yeah, went for the fort towers and they just crumpled and destroyed a whole bunch of Aragonese troops. I think that's why they were retreating troops off the wall with the HRE, because they knew that that was what they're going to try and do. It's not a bad idea. Problem is, there's still one more tower they're going to go for. Doesn't really achieve a lot. And they've got plenty of Imperial Ritter and like tier 2. Well, they've actually brought some tier 1 stuff here, which is the dismounted Imperial Ritter, which basically is shock infantry. These guys are swordsmen, but they basically, as you can see, they hold two-handed swords. So yeah, they're pretty damn nasty, and it's a good way to get around any shock limitations often if you're playing as the HRE. But yes, if you enjoyed the 12-12 action and would like to see some more, do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment to show your support. And who do you think is going to win? Do you think the Holy Roman Emperor is going to take the city of Rome, or do you think maybe the Pope's hired Sicilian armies are going to do the job and defend him here today? But it seems as though the Swiss have got pretty far in. They've got pikes up already. I imagine they have got some pretty solid pikes. They are the Swiss after all. And they brought some spears up as well as support. But yeah, I don't know why the sword's bothering to defend this. Just get back. But here we go, these pikes here, they're going to be pretty nasty. The Swiss need to hold on to their pikes because they're going to be useful in the later stages. But here they come, a wall of pikes, and they're going to just start poking away at these swords here. And the Aragonese can do nothing about this. There are archers I can see trying to support. We got some Provistani archers there. Provisionati, I presume, is actually probably how you pronounce it, but there you go. These heavy pike infantry here, they're going to be hard to do damage to. Don't see many of them, heavy pikes. I imagine they got relatively okay missile block, but still not great. They need to rush some of these choke points here with shock. And like, the Swiss have got some very good shock units, which they have brought some. But they are really, really good. I've always had some good games with the Swiss when playing with the shock. And yeah, these dismounted net. I'm definitely butchering that name, but hey, there you go. There's dismounted infantry there, going to do well. They've got another one back there, so at least they brought two. They might need a few more, to be honest, I would have thought. But yeah, they'll do well. And they've got more heavy pikes back here, which is great to see. They've got some decent swords. They brought gunners as well, which is always good to bring. Gunners for the Swiss also are very, very good. And it looks like we're going to see Cav just capturing towers. I mean, we're going to have some archers maybe fire down on these this Cav here and try and do some damage. But yeah, it seems like the Swiss are set up and ready. Well, sorry, the Sicilians are set up and ready to receive the Swiss. They've got all these like spike traps down here, but it'll be interesting to see. And they've got gunners on these barricades. Oof, yeah, these bridges are going to be a pain to take for the Swiss. Talk about pain to take. This choke point is certainly turning into that. They've still not made any progress over the HRE. I think they're actually being forced back. I think they're routing. Oh no, they're wavering. They're not routed yet. But that's enough for them. And there you go. They routed just like that. I mean, their swords nearly routed as well, but not quite yet. All they got to do is put shock infantry up onto the wall, and they do okay. They just got to make sure that the archers are being dealt with, which at the moment there aren't really any archers around here, so definitely a good spot to send up the shock now, and looks like they're doing just that. That dismounted Imperial Ritter, which we've seen, is a bit banged up. It's going back in by the looks of it. And we've got plenty more light spears over here. Yeah, a lot of light infantry, a lot of light spears here for the Sicilians. Definitely very focused, like you focus them down or just charge them. The pikes here, already taking casualties, have lost some men, and are losing decisively apparently.
Ally is attacked. Should we aid them?
But yeah, these heavy pikes are already taking about 30 losses, so that's not a good sign. I mean, they have got more, but yeah, taking a lot of losses. I mean, I guess they're making progress, they're pushing back the choke points, but... And I guess also using precious ammo of the defenders, but they do need to be careful. They don't want to throw all those pikes away just yet. Shock coming up as well. Again, another unit they want to hold on to, make sure they protect. See, the pikes are already losing decisively in combat, but I think it's mainly more because of archers. If they made attacks elsewhere, they need to make simultaneous attacks. I mean, there's crossbows waiting for them here, but they could make some assaults. And also, I mean, these are light crossbows. They are, like, definitely, you could focus these guys down if you wanted to with your own archers and do a good amount of damage. We've got tier 1, some tier 1 Sicilian knights here. Heavy sword infantry. They're going forward. And it looks like the pikes are kind of stabilized a little bit now. They're not losing so much. Flank secure, they're tired, but that's fine. Now we're going to see the shock infantry going in. They're going to try and go through there. They won't get a great charge because they've had to charge through a whole pike phalanx. Yeah, the Swiss making a bit of progress, but certainly more than the HRE at the moment, who is still fighting these choke points and on the wall here. Certainly not ending well. And they're trying to destroy another fort tower with the Swiss bombard now. Don't know why this is their strategy, it's just meaning there's less places to come off the wall. Just need to send infantry up to take these places. I mean, also, like, there's Imperial Ritter just stood on the bridge. It's not like destroying the gate is going to, or like destroying the tower is going to give you the gate. And they're about to break through here, which is something I guess, and maybe they're thinking once we beat that sword infantry, we can take the gate, which I guess they are going to. And it seems like the Sicilians aren't going to hold it. Personally, I thought this was a pretty good spot. The HRE haven't been using the archers, which they could have done and made this such an easy choke point to take. Yeah, already they are retreating. You can see here it's 6,300 against 6,800. I mean, there's a very light defense being done right now by the Sicilians at this point. I feel like they're retreating a little too early, but that's just me. Certainly their shock is... certainly the Swiss shock is rinsing through these Italian spears down here. Which is no surprise. Shock does do very, very well against spears. There you go. I think the gates have fallen to the HRE, so the HRE is in. Oh, and they got a cav charge off. And even cav on these light, I think these are light spears. Yeah, cav can still do relatively well on light spears and can crush them, and they are doing a very good job there. And yeah, the Emperor's Knights are inside the city now. They're going to be able to try and do some good damage. These guys are probably starting, yeah, they're shaking. They'll be breaking soon. The thing is now the cav needs to get through, and it needs to try and cut off as many of these units already. Like, look at this. The Sicilians are already retreating all the way back to their final cap point. It's a little early on, to be honest, to be doing this. In my opinion, I feel like they're throwing in... And Rome is a big city, yes. But certainly the best places to hold, probably to hold at these bridges. You can do a lot of damage at these bridges. I mean...
The men are broken and are fleeing.
With the archer support, the right archer support, you can hold here for a while. Aragonese swords being beaten back by the Swiss infantry. And these Swiss will fight on as long as they... these Aragonese will fight on as long as they can for this bridge. Really, they could have held, like I said, for a while, I think. Cav coming now just to finish these poor Aragonese off. Going to see Imperial Ritter here. Shall we get it from their perspective as they go in? They're probably going to just... Did they turn? Yeah, they did sort of turn. Now they're going to go in. Charge in, boys! Get a nice kill on these Aragonese. I hate that we're always at the back. There you go. In they go. Right into the back of these Aragonese. And there you go, the Aragonese are dealt with. And yeah, I mean, Sicily's already retreating so far back, which is a little bit disappointing to see, to be honest, that they're already defending all the way back here. I mean, what have we got back here? We got the King's Bodyguard. Alright, in a nice bright white uniform, looking very nice. But yeah, it's a shame to see they're already retreated this far back. I don't think they're going to catch anything. Maybe they'll catch this spear. This light spear, but... I don't know. There's no cav nearby to really do any damage to it. And we got, yeah, lots of ballistari and spears retreating, and they got so many polearms. So this, yeah, is already turning into a bit of a grind fest over here. I mean, they're sort of defending over here still, which is good to see. I'm glad. I mean, there's a cav. They got lots of cav that's otherwise just going to be wasted and not operational, really, because they can't use it in this small, tight area here. But it looks like maybe they'll go for a charge. They're going to try and charge the spear. I mean, this is a light spear, and we did see what cav can do to light spears. But this is medium cav, so it's not as... well, it's still effective, but it's not heavy cav, put it like that. Heavy cav definitely against light spears can smash through them. Medium shock might have a little bit more of a trouble, but we'll see. There's a lot of variables that can come into this that will make this interesting. It's tier 3 versus tier 1. Medium versus lights. I mean, there is heavy shock cav nearby as well, and it looks like the cav's changed its mind. It saw that the spears were now being supported, and they changed their mind. We've got more cav coming up over here as well, heavy shock, so they might challenge the mediums. Or not, they're going to run back inside the Circus Maximus and hide here. And there's gunners here as well. They could get trapped and surrounded there. And I think, yeah, the cav here has been Imperial Ritter being rained on by archer fire, so that's good to see that they're keeping them at bay. Could this cav? I don't think... It's a shame there's not like a street that can just nip through and get behind all these spears. That'd be pretty impressive if there was. But yeah, Rome certainly, they're going to fight for, well, not every inch of Rome, because they actually gave up quite a lot of it, but they're going to defend the heart of it, that's for sure, our Sicily. The cav here is not going to get much of a chance to do a charge on these Landsturm spears. And instead the spears are going to charge the cav. This is not a good idea. This will end in death for the spears, yeah. Wasn't as effective, but still losing decisively. Lost a good bunch of men, already down like by 30. We've got the heavy shock cav now coming to try and reinforce. We've got more cavalry now coming behind the Imperial Ritter. They're going to try and sandwich the cav. They need to send forward this other cavalry unit, and then if they can just block all the ways into the Circus Maximus, all this stuff here is trapped, and that would be a massive loss. Then go the medium cav against the heavies. The Imperial Ritter down here, ready to show that the Sicilians will get no mercy. Sicily in the 1212 campaign also, I'm pretty sure, gets the claim against the HRE, so it's kind of a bit personal, you know, this fight. Yeah, look at that Imperial Ritter winning, no surprise there. Actually, the Cav here, though, is losing. It's the Tier 1 heavy shock losing to Tier 3 medium shock. And we now got spears going to the back lines, going to try and support their HRE ally with some Swiss spears. Spear him down, boys. Pokey, pokey. The spears as well, still losing. It's hilarious. Look at this, they're going to get all their infantry out. They like try to make a bit of a stand, then change their mind and just like, nah, we're getting out of here. It's a bit of a shame, but there you go. The Cavs, I guess, partially been used. It's still not really done much. Good to see that the Swiss are going to just try and chase on these spears. They should be able to catch them, I feel. I don't know why they... Yeah, I was going to say this Cav over here should stay just by this entrance. And it's going to stop any spear units from leaving. Or any units, just generally from leaving. The next set of defenders is a polearm unit. And then it's some spears, some heavy spear infantry behind. We've got some gunners as well. Certainly handgunners and a polearm unit could be quite effective. It's almost pike and shot sort of style warfare. But yeah, these they're not exactly the strongest of polearms. They are only lights, so I am a little bit concerned that they could just get focused down and killed. These Lanciari over here just charged down and killed by these heavy shock cav here. Really nice done. Over here, finally, looks like the medium shock cav is going to break and it's going to die. Just that swarm of spears and cav eventually has overwhelmed it. And they're getting picked off their horses one by one.
Nothing remains of this unit now.
They haven't made their assault on the other side just yet, which is fair enough. I mean, in all honesty, you got to take it slow if I was the attackers. You got to just start focusing down these gunners with like archers. Shoot them because they're behind a barricade, so you can still get some pretty decent kills. They are also lights, so I mean you should be able to focus them down relatively easily. And then after that, I just knock down the barricade and just work your way through. You just got to see if you've got enough ammo to break through all these pikes and polearms that they have. Hopefully they do, and they have brought a decent amount of their own pikes and polearms, but hopefully they can just focus them down and make it a much easier fight. Spears over here actually did eventually beat that cab, so good on them. But yeah, now the spears will be able to get out of there. They took about half losses. Again, another cav unit here, charging into a spear unit and just kind of getting itself killed. I mean, the thing is that the cav is slowly becoming redundant, so it's not too bad that the Swiss is trying this tactic, but it is it is quite a waste of cap, but like that, we're going to see a rear charge here. Oh no, they're going to turn around at the last minute. Spears here, receive a cav charge. Yeah, it was not a good one. Not a good one. The Swiss throwing in their cav. And a pretty fruitless charge. The cav here, yeah, again, just getting speared and they'll rout in a minute. The thing is, with all their cav being thrown away, this one medium shock cav could actually become quite important. You never know. Another thing, I don't know if they'd be in range with archers. We could put them in this street here. You could try and fire over and hit the handgunners, but I think they might be out of range. Would be a bit of an incredible shot. The pikes over here are setting up, which is good to see. This is just the next, though. They're not exactly great pikes, not at the level of the Swiss pikes, but my gosh, do they look pretty in all their multicolored uniforms. Another one just behind with all the infantry as well. Oh, looks great. 12-12. What a great looking mod. These Lanciari over here. They're getting ready. I mean, light spears against pikes. I would imagine the pikes are going to win, but you never know. Gunners here. Very much on alert. Just shooting anything that comes down their street. The closer it gets, gunners do more damage as well, if you're unaware, with 12-12 handgunners. So if these gunners, like, get a unit that's really close to them, they'll do a lot more damage, kill a lot more And also another big thing with gunners is that they have really good morale like debuffs. Like when they shoot at stuff, like the morale goes down really quickly. Really smart though here from the HRE, sending forward his Colorine crew first. See whether the AI, not the AI, the defender will shoot at them. If they do, waste of ammo. If not, then get to the gates pretty easily, or get to the barricades pretty easily. The swords here are about to go in.
The enemy attacks!
So they started to fire, but I don't know if they're firing at the guys below them. They might be shooting at something else. But archers also starting to shoot in, try and do some damage. They take this barricade out pretty easily. I don't know what it's at. Barricade strength is at 25% already damaged. That's a pretty good start there. And you can see that the Swiss have already started to move up on this side as well. I think the pike should be, like the heavy pike should be able to take out these light pole arms. I'm really not sure. I don't really remember who beats who in like 12-12. I think pole arms are worse. A bit like how like pikes and Dawn of Stays can counter pole arms because they have the extra range. I think that's sort of the case here as well. But don't quote me on it. I could be wrong. I mean, just that these guys are heavies and well, actually they're both tier 3, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, these are heavy pikes. They just need to be careful. And in they go, you can start poking away, and the polearms can't do anything, they're out of range. So it's an easy fight for them. Look at this! Absolutely annihilating these guys. Already lost like 12 men already. So this is the way they're going to have to win that fight. I mean, they've got more pikes back here. They might want to bring these guys forward and try and challenge the Swiss pikes. Barricade's gone. So those gunners have been usurped for that position. We are about to see a charge over here as well. We've got pikes going in along with some sergeants of the HRE. And they're going into combat down here. Fight for your lives! Fight for Rome! Fight for the Pope! Or, well, your choice of Pope. HRE in this weird scenario making their own. Which they did do in history, actually. There was a period of time where there was like 3 popes. The French had one, the Italians had one, the Germans had one. And the Brits, they supported the German one for some weird reason. We were on good Anglo-Germanic terms. There you go, that choke point's been going to be fought over quite a while. Spears on here are beating the swords, but I think that might have something. Oh, he's dismounted Imperial Ritter as well. Yeah, so the defenders here seeing a great opportunity to take out a very vulnerable unit to archer fire. And they are ripping through it. A lot of blood coming off these shock infantry as they try and break through the spear line. Looks like there's another spear unit coming forward, maybe. I mean, it's a sword unit, sorry, coming forward. Rotillari den Difensura. You know, I've never really heard of. I really don't think I ever really played the Italian states. I don't really know most of these units. But yeah, the crossbows coming in and doing a good job there. Spears are losing, though, even though they were, you know, holding back a dying shock infantry. Yeah, the polearm lost about 50 men before they finally decided it's time to throw in the swords. How are they doing? The pikes are doing okay. See if the pikes can make their way through. I mean, they're doing okay for now. A lot of ammo still left. That's the problem. That's what I'm most worried about. This is the cap point here. This sort of like little temple up here where all these troops are gathered. The gunner's certainly going to be no use here. The thing is, with retreating as well, the gunner's getting less and less use out of them because there's not so many great angles for them then. Like, you've almost got to make a gap for them to start firing through. Otherwise, they'll do damage to your own men. They'll do damage to the enemy yet, but got to worry about your own men. Unless you're like a Russian or something, you just do the Russian wave tactic where you just throw men in and die. Or you're Sauron, and orc lives don't matter. Yeah, HRE seem like they're making some progress. The spears are losing. Actually, they're so the swords. So, I mean, they seem like they're making progress, but it's only just some sergeants in. There's nothing impressive in there. So it's a strange one, that's for sure. The HRE over here are making... they're not really making any progress. Their shock infantry or their so-called shock infantry has just died. We've now got the pikes moving up for the Swiss. Seems like the answer to everything, just send in the Swiss if it's going wrong. And we've got another very good pike unit here that's been sent up. We've got the Lang Pisa. It's a tier 3 pike unit. It's another heavy pike unit as well. I'm pretty sure it's capped to 1. And for the HRE, they're sending that up as well. Very good to see. Yeah, these Lang Pisa here for the Swiss are solid troops. Honestly, I'd be using things like the gunners as well. Just trying to force the enemy to come down the hill and fight you where you need to. And the pike's doing a good job at the moment, which is fine, but those gunners only get so many limited chances. They retreat right back to the final cap point. Those gunners are going to have a tough time. Yeah, the pikes finding this easy work, light work. They're going to have to find a way somehow to defeat these pikes. If only had something like a grenadier unit or something like that. That would be great. If they were playing one of the Islamic nations or something like that. They often have Naftus. Just throw some of them. Blow up some stuff. But for now they're holding, but there's a few cracks starting to appear, you could say. Another sword unit going in here again. Oh, I think this is pulled through. Yeah, I don't think he meant to. I think he was planning to attack this Aragonese sword here, but then that fell back anyway. And now his shock infantry is in the middle of this spear unit, and he might lose it here. Well, it's not really shock infantry, it's that sword unit again. The wannabe shock infantry. Dismounted Imperial Ritter. Yeah, actually the spears are losing. I'm surprised the swords weren't losing because they pulled through accidentally. Imagine if they took this choke point and just took out this spear and then put a pike across here and just blocked the generals in this little spot here. I mean, they've got immunity to arm, they've got some light pole arms. I guess they can have the capability of getting out of there in theory, but that would be hilarious if the general just got stuck in there. And there you go. It seems as though that shock infantry did just break through. The spears are done with, and now they're onto a sword unit. Now they're fighting over the columns of Rome. Kill them all. We must get rid of this corrupt pope. We've got some more cav, and you can see the generals quickly doing what I said they should do and get out of there. Because otherwise they'll get trapped, which will be hilarious. If they could hold them in a good position here, these gunners could just fire down into their flanks. But certainly, yeah, over here, advance has been halted. The Swiss aren't getting through anytime soon. It seems like the two flanks are going to be the easiest spots at the moment to try and break through.
Enemy units have rallied and returned to the battle.
Battling for the center of civilization here.
The enemy is attacking our generals.
And there you go. These pikes are actually winning decisively now. They're going to need to send up more than just spears. I think it's... I know these crossbows over here are shooting on them as well. Trying to do some damage. Seems like they might be doing some okay. Yeah, they're starting to kill these guys off now. Look at that. Losing as well. The crossbows just doing some good damage. We've got shock infantry on this side now. Already the shock infantry is losing. I think that's again because of archer fire. Like, the Sicilians are desperately using archers right now to try and hold back and close up gaps. The Necht over here with their HRE infantry battling away. I mean, they've turned it into a bit of a V for victory. Have the Sicilians, they've kind of... Well, it's not even really a V for victory. It's just a patchwork defense right now. They're throwing in the stuff to try and hold stuff back, to make sure there's no gaps for him to sneak through. Swords starting to waver here for the Aragonese. Well, not Aragon, the Sicilians. With their Aragonese men that they have.
Our men have given up and are running for their lives.
Still seems like they've got a decent amount of stuff left, though. I mean, both sides. Yeah, I mean, it's about 1,000-man difference between attackers and defenders. Defenders got about 4,700. And the defenders have 4,700 and the attackers have 5,600. So, yeah, about 900-man difference. With defenses, that's a very good gap to have. I personally feel like sometimes I feel like they still could have defended those bridges. I feel like they just have too many men just crammed in this area here. Imagine if they had a mortar. There's just nowhere to hide for the defenders, man. A mortar would have been elite for like the HRE, the shelled stuff. Like, there's so many like big blobs of infantry just sat around. It just can't do anything. Like these Rutulari di Ventura. Just sat here waiting patiently. Got the shock infantry, all this cav and these pole arms here. So much stuff stacked to the top of each other. You could have done a lot of damage. Trying to get the angles to get down into these streets, the hardest bit of this game. The pikes are unopposed here in this choke point, in the case of pikes, like other pikes. Yeah, they're still losing. Actually, there is a pike unit down there. There is one. But I think it's because of these archers. They're nearly out of ammo though, or at least one is. So there is hope for the pikes, but they've got to be. They better start praying. But like that, these pikes over on this side need to push forward as well, really. We've got the HRE pikes in here now, which are the pretty nasty ones. They're not using their own Swiss allies now. They're sending in the better boys. You just need to get archers up. Like, that's one of the big things that the attacks haven't done. Just get archers up. Try and use the archers to help unlock some choke points. I would just like to kill other archers. It would really help their cause. Got immunity to arm. They're moving down these guys in head to toe in plate armor. These guys are very, very nasty. You like just punch them. You just wouldn't even feel it. Or just like you can probably hit them with a sword. You wouldn't even feel it. But they're running. They are running. I don't think they're happy with the fight they're in. I don't know. Maybe they didn't realize there's pikes in there. And now they can move on to the spears. I mean, if I was a gunner, I'm certainly not saying I am, but a good little angle here, just fire into the flank of all that big old blob down there. And you have the support of pikes and pole arms. Oh, sorry, pole arms and shock infantry here. So they've got a few options on what they could do. can see the HRE reserves going for a little while yet. They've got plenty of men to send in. They're finally bringing up archers, which I feel like is a big, big win. Why is there Imperial Ritter in here? Why is there Cav in this choke point? Get it out of here, you madman. No need to have that there. Silly, silly, silly. Still trying to navigate this this choke point down here. You can see more and more infantry being thrown in. There's 4 units and there's serious blobbing going on here by the Swiss now. I don't know if it's just all the Swiss or there might be HRE troops in there as well. Yeah, serious blobbing going on. They could try and set up their archers so they could try and get flanking shots, but I mean, they might be okay because the gunners are shooting into this choke point. Yeah, they're getting okay angles. They must be doing, yeah, they're doing morale damage to these swords here. You can see minus 13 morale damage it does. Like, that is probably one of the best uses of gunners. Guess, yeah, maybe the gunners are firing just perfectly fine into that choke point, but they're getting very lucky, that is for sure. The spear line here holding. The Pope better be giving every single man that falls here for Sicily a blessing, as these men are dying trying to defend him. Or give them a free indulgence. That's what I'd do. Now, if you know what an indulgence is, you probably get that reference. And certainly if you studied the German Reformation like I did at high school, we definitely had to know about the indulgence situation. Pikes over here finally beaten. I think they've been just focused down one too many times by crossbows. Yeah, the polearms here barely poking at these. Sorry, the pikes here barely poking at those polearms. Finally, the damage is done. Here they bring up gunners. This is not a bad idea. Gunners just try and shoot down these shock infantry, these polearms, sorry. They've got a medium handgunner as well, so it's even better, so it will be a bit more resistant to archer fire, but yeah, let's see what damage they do. They should just get like point blank range. 146, this is going to drop pretty quickly, I imagine. Are they trying to get out of range of the crossbows? Because if they are, I don't think they're going to achieve it. And all they're doing actually now is just showing the backs of that unit, and they're getting more. They're getting more kills. I don't know if that was the idea. Enemies obliterated an entire unit. Oh, that's not good. The pikes over here are starting to lose as well. But there are some fresh swords in there, which is good to see. Try and help the situation a little bit. Doesn't exactly seem as much fighting going on. There's Imperial Ritter still in here. It's lost 10 men. He is trying to break these spears, which is not a bad idea, and also they're going to do it. There's not much. Oh, there's not much to achieve after they broke it. It's the Colosseum here. We can go and fight in it. We should fight in the Colosseum to decide who wins. The best swordsman for either side fights it out and sees who wins. Yeah, the cabin here is trying to just help route these these spears. It doesn't really matter. There's a whole line of polearms waiting for them, which is why the HRE has got to bring up these archers, I guess. Just try and focus these guys down. I'd also use things like gunners as well. Try and use them. And your own pikes. Maybe even more swords going in now. They've got sending some of their tier 1 swords. They can really do with artillery. Like a mortar, I'm really telling you. could do with that right now. What are the numbers looking like? It's still a 1,000-man difference. Allied count is at 3,600. The attackers is at 4,600. But we're getting to the tough bits now, I guess. Got the Necht over here. Medium pike infantry trying to challenge the pole arms.
The enemy refuses to admit defeat. Their unit has rallied.
Looks like the Necht's winning that one pretty easily. A lot of cavalry running through there as well. Oh yeah. I think the pole arms are trying to get closer, and all it's doing is achieving is more of them dying. And we've got more pole arms now coming up over here as well. Why the shock infantry and cav is charging the pole arms, I have no idea. This is a bad move here from the HRE. All he's going to achieve is just a lot of dead men, I would imagine. Certainly on the cav. Yeah, you can see they're losing. The pole arms over here, though, easily been killed off. Really nice. And can the Necht now go in and do the same thing to the second unit? Just pike warfare over on this side. Still making good progress over here. Well, I say that. It's actually these crossbows are just focusing them down. Really good positions here from the crossbows. And yeah, the shock infantry here is dying. It's a shame because they were actually killing off the spears. And we could have had a good classic shock versus shock fight down here because Sicily had already sent in his own shock infantry. We've got a cav here. We've got cav here as well. We've got a general actually quite close to the front line. Whether they can shoot him with archers, the attackers, I don't know. They might want to give it a go. Also, I mean, I don't know why they're not firing their archers. I don't know why they haven't bothered to start. Like, there's shock infantry back here to shoot. There's pikes I'll be shooting. There's all sorts. Again, still no progress over here. There's thrown in cav now to try and break through this choke point. Like, seriously, guys, you're not going to break through like this. Just try another method. Stop throwing bodies in to die. It must be like an absolute slip and slide down here with all the bodies. Yeah, Cav's fighting starting to lose. Why they threw that Imperial Ritter in. That could be useful, you never know, late game. If a gap opened up in the in one of the choke points, that Cav could have rushed through maybe. Instead, no, it's rushing into pole arms, getting himself killed. Look at this though, fighting over the statues, like the statues around in Rome, just covered in blood of the men. They just want control of this city. And all that lovely architecture. It looks like the Necht are dying. And it looks like with the support of that extra pike unit that's been brought forward, I think it's an extra pike unit being brought forward. They've actually managed to do some good damage here. You can see a pike unit going forward there. The Necht, though, yeah, they're doing okay, but they are shaken, actually. They're not stirred. Where's that other pike unit that they've got? Yeah, the heavy one. Throw that back into the line. Try and do some damage with that. Certainly, if the attackers want to make any more progress, they've got to use their range. But there's too much ammo left at this point for the game. Like, I mean, I know they're trying to maybe try and save ammo. But yeah, all these guys obstructed to start with is not good. I'd just shoot this general.
The enemy have rallied their
Just shoot him while he's here. It's maybe general sniping, but just stop him putting it so close. You're not going to kill him instantly in the first volley. Here come the heavy pikes. The HRE throwing up their heavy pike unit. The Lang Pisa. It's going in. Yeah, the HRE finally just... Well, they're nearly dead here, put it like that. I think, did they just... Oh, they did. They did dismount the Imperial Ritter. What a strange thing to do. But that Imperial Ritter could be useful, you never know. I guess they got their general still alive, so that's something. The pole arms the pikes over here are dying to the pole arms. The pole arms are dying slowly as well. Could just take their take their men out of the fight and then just let the archers do the damage. They sent the sergeants in. That seemed to help as well. So sergeant charged there, and they managed to look like maybe do some damage to these pole arms. Will they break another one? Yeah, another one's been broken. So they're down to one more here. It's losing as well, so they might break through here against the pole arms. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of breaking going on over here though from the Swiss. I mean, I don't know if it's got something to do with those gunners. I mean, they do minus 13 in morale. Look at this huge, insane blob that's going on over here from the Sicilians. Are they just trying to break through here? I don't know what the plan is, but look at this insane blobbing. This is a big no-no. Don't do this ever. It's not a good idea. There you go. Pole arms broke, and now the the HRE are able to swing on in. They could, in fact, squash a lot of units here. I mean, if they do this right, they could go down and just surround all these troops down here, and that could be detrimental. Or they could just go in for the cap point. Oh, there's a pike unit that's now trying to block off the Holy Roman Emperor here. He might just about do it, you never know. If they kill this Holy Roman Emperor, they might be able to turn the battle in favor of them, because the HRE will have no morale. He seems safe at the moment. The unit, like the actual model of the Emperor is here, he's safe. He's fighting some random infantry, but he'll be fine. The pikes are losing. Sergeants here wavering as well. A lot of units actually losing to this cav unit here. It's a messy fight back here at the back of Rome. We're going to have to see whether this tactic of defending right at the back of the map is actually going to work for the Sicilians, or whether it was just prolonging their doom. If this cab breaks, there's a whole lot of yeah, there you go. There's a whole lot of infantry that can swing on through.
The men's resolve is failing.
Army losses, I think, are starting to come into effect or something. I'm not really sure. There's a lot of wavering going on down here as well for the Sicilians. The Swiss are still doing okay. They could do with bringing over some more troops here. Maybe bringing their general a little closer.
Our men are breaking
The
up.
men are starting to break for the Sicilians. I mean, also just seen some neck break there. I think the Swiss are in a real bit of trouble. They're nearly out of men, I think. They've got their heavy pikes up. I think this is their last one they're throwing in. In all honesty, if they wanted to clear this choke point out, all they have to do is put gunners in the front line. Just keep putting gunners in the front line and just scaring these guys back until they eventually gave up this choke point. Yeah, the spears here, not looking great. It looks like they're trying to contain the. Looks like they're containing the situation relatively well now. It's a bit of a mess, but yeah, they are relatively containing the attackers right now. See the Emperor like in the background and all his infantry just fighting on below. Looks pretty awesome. Certainly a mess, put it like that. My gosh. These archers need to be in overtime, just like hitting targets. There's so many. Oh, so many that can hit down here. There's some big old blobs going on right now for the defenders. Like, it is not a good idea blobbing up as a defender. 2,200 against 3,200. So they're still keeping that 1,000-man difference, and they're actually pulling troops out of this front line here, which is a good idea. They need to do that. It's not where they need them. And instead they're throwing them over here. And because actually the HRE is nearly broken through over here as well. There's heavy pikes supporting. They're doing a good job. I'll be interested to see how many kills these pikes got at the end, because it's been a battle for them today, these choke points. I think they've only left like things like archers holding this choke point here now. It seems like a brave thing to do. There is still some healthy shark and some swords over there that can do some damage. Maybe they feel like they're running low on men. I mean, they kind of are running low on archers. It's certainly looking. I mean, if they didn't plob up so many troops in certain areas, they'd be able to thin them boys out. They'd be able to like spread out their boys a little bit better. To be fair, the attacker's kind of running short on infantry as well. Like, what's in is in. There isn't really much in reserve. It's just archers and generals. But who knows, those archers might come in hand quite quickly. And they might be able to turn the fight, you never know, find a sneaky flank. Or maybe it'll come down to generals, who knows. Got a general just charging in here. Why is the Sicilian general just charging in? He's not going to achieve much doing that. And he's actually encouraging the Holy Roman Emperor to charge in his own general. Again, all they're achieving, guys, is just charging their own men. Really not doing a lot. Just use your generals for war cry abilities and things like that. That's all I use mine for. These shock infantry here, though, are losing with the general of the HRE in combat against them. Well, I thought this push over here was successful. It's slowly turning into a bit of a nightmare. They're not getting anywhere. The pikes are also in danger of being flanked, as the swords are losing. Over on this side, the Swiss again, not really making much progress. They're just killing a lot off. Put it like that. They're killing a lot of stuff off. Oh. Not many zoom so close into that man's helmet. I mean, I guess you can see all the detail. It's pretty cool. Yeah, these Swiss pikes must have got like a few hundred kills. The King of Sicily here trying to hold the line. The Holy Roman Emperor is actually losing in combat for a second. He was. Just fire on this general. Oh, starting to see some wavering here for the HRE. More Imperial routing. Sarge is starting to go as well. Swiss still not really making progress over here, but the pikes are wavering. Again, just throwing in generals when they should really just use them for like morale purposes. Just use them to either rally your own men or to dishearten the others. If they do that, they'll be fine. Pikes are on a route, and it's just this arch unit over here. They're gonna have to throw some men back this way. Are the defenders paying attention? I don't know. We'll see. The Swiss look like they might be about to be the ones to break through. Another general just getting sent in here. Is he just trying to? I don't know what he's trying to do, you know. A pristine white uniform starting to get a little bit more bloody. And there you go, the archers are broken and the cavs through. We got the heavy shock cav through here. It's actually fighting one of the Sicilian generals down here. I think they're going to just try and rush for the choke point. That's what I'd do. Send some swords in maybe as well and some pikes. Scare off these guys, but they are making some progress. Now having to retreat a lot of their blobs over here. Try and face off against the Swiss that are breaking through. We also have the two generals clashing down here. The Sicilians are losing that fight against the HRE. I mean, one is tier 1 and one is tier 3. There is only one victor in that fight, really.
Enemy units have been rallied.
Look at that. I think he's routed. Yeah. The ally, this allied player here for the Sicilians has lost his general. He's still got some men in the fight, but that is not a good sign. Balance power, yep, shifting in favor of the attackers. It's now 900 versus 2,000. It's been just a grindy old siege. There's this one. Just be fighting these choke points for a long, long time. Archers actually with a lot of ammo left, now being charged by the Sicilian general. They need to be careful. It's not over yet. That Sicilian general could get a whole bunch of kills. He could change the course of the battle. I think that's just because they're trying to get to this point over here, try and take it for themselves. I'm really not sure. But yeah, Sicily is just about defeated on this side here. The pikes here still poking away. Poke, poke, poke. And it seems as though It's going to end in a draw, apparently. Okay, so time ran out for the attackers to take it. I think they were probably going to go on and win, but yeah, a draw in this one between Sicily and the attackers of the HRE and the Swiss. So was a close one. Certainly was. I mean, you can see there's not much left for the Kingdom of Sicily. They had literally nothing left. I mean, HRE and the Swiss also looking pretty rough as well at this point in the fight. So yeah, well done to both sets of players. It was a fun siege battle on Rome as well. Always nice to see Rome being played on. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I mean, we'll look at some of these kills. I mean, we've got like 338 kills here, 313 for these crossbows, 292, 393, some insane kills with these crossbows. And swords here getting 123 kills. The polearms, yeah, nothing much. And these spears, nothing much because they're the lights. So that's just really unfortunate, really. The general getting 184 kills, and he was still relatively healthy. He was killing a lot of archers at the end. He definitely could have got 200 kills if given the chance. I think this was sent in by one of the Swiss players. I can't remember which one. I think it's Alperin sent it in. Yeah, I think I think it's Helltaker. Helltaker sent it in. Alperin's the other Kingdom of Sicily player. 206 kills with his shock infantry. And then he's got 210 with his pikes down here. These guys definitely did better than the polearms. My gosh. Archer's getting 227 kills, 153. The gunners, nothing much. But the cav getting 112 kills. So yeah, both Alperin and Helltaker did a very good job. Then we have Labadal playing as the HRE. 171 kills with his Holy Roman Emperor General. And then he got 261 kills with his Imperial Ritter dismounted, and then 255 with the other one there. Pikes is next, getting 311 kills. His other one getting 210, 106. Yeah, some really good kills there. We got 117 kills with his sergeants, the best of the bunch. His dismounted Imperial Ritter getting 300 kills. These guys are insane. Then his mounted Imperial Ritter, I should say, 217 kills and 137 for the archers. Then we have Murakeps playing as the Canton of the Swiss. 100 kills dead for his general. 254 kills with the shock infantry here. I did say they were very, very good. 216 with his heavy pikes. 251 with another there. 100 kills with the swords. 108 with another one down there. 173, the best of the bunch. 179, the best of the bunch. 117 kills with his cav. And yeah, that is about it. Nothing like else that was too insane. But there you go. Rome just about held on for Sicily. They just about held. But I think given a little bit more time, the HRE would have quite easily put in place their new pope. And we could have had a new power in Europe. But I hope you guys did enjoy the 1212 AD siege. It certainly was a fun one. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.